So with St. Pat's defender Jay McGrath to look ahead to Friday's game against Cork and have a general chat about his first couple of months as a Super Saint. Jay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
4 starts in a row since you come into the team. A couple of good performances recently for the group, the draw at Shamrock Rovers, particularly in the win against UCD. How have you enjoyed your first few weeks at the club since you've broken into the side?
Yeah, I'm loving it, Regular game time is what I wanted, and I've broken the team, and thankfully the gaffer trusts me and has kept me in the team, so I'm loving it. The draw against Rovers was a good result. The fans were unbelievable. And then obviously the win on Friday night was a good boost now, so hopefully we can kick on.
Talk us through how your loan to St. Pat's from Coventry came about a few months ago.
I got a call from my agent saying that St. Pat's were interested and the gaffer was interested, and that the gaffer would be in touch with me. So I had a phone call with the gaffer and John, and as soon as I had the call, I was convinced to come here. The idea, the plan, and then since I've come, I've loved it. It's a big club. I wanted to play first team football, men's football, so it made sense to come here.
Yeah, your first game at the club, you were on the bench for the opening night of the season against Derry here at Richmond, a sold out crowd. Since then there's been some really good attendances both home and away, and some interesting games to play in. How have you found it overall, everything from the standard to the competition? Like, you're only 19, you're playing against men, and also the support for the league and the atmospheres and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good league, it's a good standard, it's quick, but I thrive under pressure and against good competition, and the fans they're superb. Away from home, we went up to Sligo, we've been to obviously 𝗟𝗪, and the fans are unbelievable. The home game against Derry, when I walked out, I was amazed. The following and the support, it's very good.
And what type of buzz does that give you as a young player? And I know when you were speaking in your press conference earlier on, you spoke about playing in front of smaller crowds when you were at Coventry 21s and 23s, and before when you were playing as a kid, and now to be playing in front of sold out stadiums, the atmospheres and the challenge that gives you as a young player.
Yeah, you get them little butterflies walking out, and then when the game kicks off, it's a boost. To have the fans behind you from minute 1 to minute 90, it's a boost. And not only do you want to play well for yourself and for the team, but you want to play well for them. They're paying the money to come and watch you play, so play well for the fans and they'll be on your side.
And in terms of the footballing reasons for coming here as well, like you captained Coventry 21s to the league last year, and you're under contract there for another 3 seasons. What was in your mind when the call first came and the conversations with Tim and the reasons for wanting to come to the league and to play for St. Pat's?
Yeah, I need to push on my career and start playing men's football and push on now, really, and try and develop my career in the men's game. And as soon as the call came from the gaffer and John, I was very interested, and then when I spoke to them, it was a no-brainer, to come and play for Pats in this league, full-time, a big club, and the standard in this league is very good, so for me to kick on, this is a perfect place for me to be.
It's a very young defensive department of the pitch. I know Dean Linus is 31, has come in for the last couple of games, but whether we play with a back 3 or a back 4, the other centre-backs that will partner you, someone like Joe Redmond is only 22, Noah Lewis is young as well. I know Brocky and Harry and Tom have been out for the last few weeks. Anto Breslin's mid-20s, Sam Curtis at right back, a right wing back is only 17. So how have you found all of that? And normally maybe your central defensive partnership might be an older player and a younger player, but for us it's quite young.
Yeah, we've got a young squad. It helps us, a lot of young, hungry players, and even though Joe's young, he's a great leader. He's good to learn off having him beside me. He's played all the games. And he leads us as a captain, and you wouldn't think he's 22 by the way you see him play and his leadership skills. So he's a very important part of our defence, and Sam plays like an experienced right back. No one would think he's 17 if you watched him play. He's unbelievable. And then to have Anto next to me, who's obviously got the experience of playing in this league, it helps me a lot. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it.
Off the pitch, you're in a house with 5 of the other teammates as well. You might tell us who's in the house and how's that going. And again, I suppose another part of the loan is that you've moved away from home and you're still a teenager, of course, so you're learning to kind of cook and clean and basically look after yourself as an adult as opposed to living at home. But I think you've got someone in the house that minds you a bit.
Yeah, there's me, Axel, Dean, Noah, Vlad and Connor. And we have Dino, who's obviously a bit older. We call him Daddy Dean. He looks after us all around the house, make sure we're cleaning up and we're all cooking healthily. But it's good crack, with all the lads in the house. We go out together and we'll go shopping together, cook together, whatever, It's good, it takes your mind away from being away from home and living in a different country, so yeah.
Yeah, nice to go home from training and have a laugh with the lads, watch the football or whatever. And I believe there's a few golfers in the house too, including yourself, so you claim.
Yeah, we've got a couple of golfers, you know. Axel's a very good golfer. I claim to be a golfer, you know, I'm not the best, but yeah, we have a good 4-ball anyway.
What do you do up in the house apart from that? Anyone involved in FIFA, or do you play games, card games, board games, anything like that?
Yeah, Vlad and Connor are big UFC and NBA players, you know, on the PS, so they'll have a game every now and then. You'll hear some shouting downstairs at who's winning, so yeah.
And how does Dino react to being Daddy Dean? Is he happy? You know, he does have kids, of course, but is he happy with that title and that role in the house?
I think he embraces it, you know. I think he enjoys being with us, the young pups, and not looking after us, but enjoying time spending with us and messing about and that. Yeah, I think he enjoys it.
Of course, your family are actually from Ireland. I know your dad John played professional football for, you know, a number of years, moved to Aston Villa as a teenager and played over 200 games for Burton Albion and stuff. And I know your mum's family's from County Cork as well. So it's probably nice for them to know that you're living in Ireland and that you're continuing their path in this country as such.
Yeah, definitely. No, I feel like I'm back home. My family down in Limerick. My granddad's been up to see me a couple of times, and my family down in Cork. All my cousins, you know. I always would come here as a kid 3 or 4 times a year, and I always felt at home. So it's nice to be back.
And I know your dad John, as we mentioned, has been at a lot of the games. He was down watching the Irish 21s when you were in the squad a couple of weeks ago as well. He's been here to Richmond a couple of times, and even though he's living and working in the UK, he's very proud of you and is getting over along with your family, your younger brothers and sisters as well, to cheer you on, which is nice.
Yeah, he comes as much as he can, and if he can't be here, he'll watch online. But he was at the game on Friday as well, and nice to get a win. But it's about making my family proud, you know, making my dad proud, hopefully following in his footsteps. If I can have a career like he had, you know, I'd be delighted, so yeah.
And we managed to get the game on Friday on, so thankfully your dad didn't make a wasted trip with the rain. A 3-0 win against UCD, a couple of good goals and a clean sheet from your end at the back, and a first win for a few weeks obviously as well. What did you make of it, and how were the conditions, and I suppose a little bit of uncertainty before the game when you guys were all arriving, watching everyone trying to get the water off the pitch?
Yeah, you know, it was a wet 3 points to say the least, you know. But the ground staff did well. They cleared all the water off the pitch, and when we played, the pitch was in good condition. You know, it had a nice zip to it. The rain came down and the pitch held up well, but it's a good win, you know. It's a win that we want to build on now and kick on. You know, we had a tough start to the season, but this is what we want to do. We want to win games, so that's just the start, and we want to kick on now and push on. Jay,
just on the international front, you had your first 21s call up a couple of weeks ago. You were in the squad for the Ice, and I think you had a bit of a knock after being in for a couple of days training along with Adam Murphy. You were actually called into the squad proper and on the bench for the game. A good win in front of a good crowd, and your first experience of the 21s with a qualifying campaign to come and stuff. How was all of that, and how proud were you to be officially called up for the first time?
Yeah, you know, I was delighted. It made me immensely proud to be able to represent my family name for the Ireland U21s. You know, something that I've always strove to do, to represent my country internationally, and to get my first international call up, you know, I was delighted. So the fans were very good down in Turner's Cross in Cork, and the boys played well and got the win.
And I know, you know, the under-21s would have scouts in the UK and stuff, but the fact that, you know, Jim Crawford, the manager, the 2 assistant coaches, and Alan Reynolds and Trevor Crowley work in the league here, you know, you're in their sights as such, even though they'd probably be able to see a little bit of Coventry, but playing competitive men's football here probably helps your international cause.
Yeah, it's the difference, you know. Everyone in that team is playing men's football, so playing in an under-21 setup, you won't get the call up. So putting myself in the shop window, playing here at Pat's every week and performing and playing well, you know, hopefully that's the first of many call-ups.